Good afternoon, America. I just watched a pretty cool short clip about the bench of Malden Mills. Aaron Feuerstein, he passed away a year ago. He was the previous owner of the Malden Mills textile mills that got bought out by Polar Tech LLC. There's a pretty awesome story though about him. You know, as much as I was like my Amalek traits are really need beaten down. Every time I see some story, my yes or my evil inclination always tries to like pick apart and be overly critical of any Jew. It's a good test though to constantly be aware of how the sages, you know, how wise are the sages. Say a person always sees the obligation in them in others and not in themselves. But as much as I tried, I just couldn't find anything. And everyone's a human being in this world, and we all have flaws. But Aaron Feuerstein seemed like a pretty righteous Jew. And more than the fact that he didn't close the plant when it burned down and cash out and, you know, run away and open manufacturing plant in China or whatever. But I mean, he also paid all the employees the entire time their full salary until the plant was working again. But eventually, you know, because he did that, the company had to file for bankruptcy, and the creditors basically kicked him out as CEO. But more so, you know, that's a huge thing, and a huge Kiddush Hashem, a sanctification of God's name. But also because he really valued the Torah and teaching the Torah. I'm gonna go harvest some carrots and some last of the parsnips. That was a really awesome story, though. When I first heard the word mensch, I always thought it was like in the context that I originally heard it. It always seemed like something negative. Probably because of the people that were using it, but a mensch is like a real decent human being, especially when it lives by the Torah. But I'm gonna get going. Just a short special message to you. It's important we recognize that when we are overly critical of others, especially for, you know, as a goy, being overly critical of Jews when we aren't. We're only obligated to keep 7 mitzvot, and they have the whole Torah. It's always important to recognize when the Satan is trying to lead us down into the pit of Sheol and points a finger back at him. Say, not this time, buddy. I'm gonna do teshuvah. Hope you guys do too.